Detailing After Dark. This is Norm here. I am super late for the date, but eating with the fam started out late. A lot of stuff went into detail that I had to get fixed. Um, but let's kick into it. This right here, I have to say, is my full interior auto detailing process. I think it's needed. I think a lot of customers aren't really shown or even told what it takes to actually detail a vehicle for the interior. And I think it doesn't benefit people when they don't. It's kind of like what you don't know, you don't know. And I think that's a bad thing. I don't think a lot of people should not know that. So let me kick into here and get that started. And I'll kind of do a walkthrough. Where's that video at? That's all right. Well, you're going to see a little bit of my brawly in here, I guess. Which vehicle was this? So this is kind of the starting point. Let me see. Share. See if I can share. Share this one. So this is the starting of a truck, kind of going in detail about it. So here, as I show videos just as like the videos you see is what I also take a customer through. So I'm looking at every crevice, every debris. I'm calling stuff out, stains, spills. If I see any key, like any knobs messed up, anything torn, shredded, um, stuff that could get pushed on me, or the customer could think that I did something when their car has just been that dirty for so long. So doing the customer walkthrough, assessing the situation, asking those right questions. Did you spill food? Did you spill milk? Coffee even? Do you have children? Do you let them eat in the car? Do they eat dry foods? Do they eat wet foods? And by wet foods, I mean, do they get Go-Gurts, yogurts, applesauce, oranges, stuff that's organic, that could mold, that could become a more expensive problem sooner than later. So kind of going through those types. And while I'm doing this, the customer is kind of standing back as I'm talking to them and assessing their vehicle. And I just say, looks like this area is kind of took heavy damage, heavy stains, heavy debris. Some customers of mine, they even put rubber mats on top of carpet mats. Now, that's bad for two reasons. One, you're not really protecting more. All the water that falls off of the rubber mat soaks into the carpeted mat, and you're left with a nasty, like wet smell sooner than later, especially in Alaska where we're cold 8 months out of the year, 7 months out of the year, um, and stuff like that. So I tell people all the time that, just because you put more, that's my 7 gallon tank. That was a spicy meatball right there on that vehicle. Another one right here. I don't have any. I'm getting better about trying to do start and finishes. I'm doing a lot of like split videos of where it's starting but not finishing. But I'm getting better. So obviously, work with me here. Thanks for staying tuned. But after that initial prep time, getting the confirmation from the customer, I do my door jamb APC and I let that sit there generally for about uh, 5 minutes or less, depending on the severities. If it's a very nasty, cruddy door, I'll do spray with the scrub brush. Um, and my scrub brush is board bristle. That way, I'm not damaging the paint as much as if you use like a polyester brush, stuff like that. By removing all the upholstery and carpet. Um, so I remove all the floor mats, whether they be rubber or carpet. I pull those out while cleaning the door jambs. And then after I vacuum, I then pressure wash the door jambs. So you don't want to pressure wash before you vacuum, because if you pressure wash before you vacuum, good luck trying to get any of that out of the carpet, because now everything's weighted down. Everything's kind of clinging more together. and it just is it's a bigger mess for you, and then your vacuum's getting wet for no real reason. Um, so that's just like a very big part of why you just don't do that. And after that point, vacuuming, doing the pressure wash on the door jambs, as well as the floor rails, the side rails, where it's usually a plastic covering between the metal into the interior of your vehicle. Get all that pressure wash scrubbed down. That way, that part's already done. And there's water in your car, but there's already going to be water in your car because it's getting detailed by a professional detailer, hopefully. And, moving on to the interior detailing, starting with the driver's door, and I work in a counterclockwise motion. Driver's door, back driver's passenger, back passenger, passenger side, and then the front passenger side. And then once I do that, I then go back over to the driver's side, get everything scrubbed down, cleaned up, and then I go into carpet extraction. So my shampooer, it's a 5-gallon system, 4-gallon system, 5-gallon reservoir, stuff like that. And then I start shampooing the carpet. Now, if you find a lot of areas that are super dirty on the floorboards, it might be a pressure washer situation. I know a lot of people have never really heard of that situation happening. I know a lot of professional detailers frown upon it, but to each his own. Realistically, a pressure washer will be able to get very deep into the fibers very quickly to loosen up a lot of that grime that is very bricked. Especially if somebody has like muddy feet, they go hiking a lot, they're very outgoing. Or in this state, Alaska, just cram with salt. So you just need something that will break up that crystalline process to be able to extract it efficiently and quickly. Because if you've ever dealt with salt in the floor and the carpet, it's very hard to just use your carpet extractor and then get it out. Because what happens is you start spreading it. And I'll tell you this from experience, when I was in my starting point, just chunks of salt in this car, like on the floor, the left foot of the driver's side. I'm like, oh, cool, it's dissolved. No, it just like coated more of the carpet to where once it dried, it just looked like this white crystal. And it wasn't until I found a chemical. What was that chemical? What is it called? Salt remover, something like salt remover from cars or something. And quote unquote, it was. They say it was for boats, but I'll tell you right now, it works for. Oh well, it says it works for vehicles too. So let me share that. And so I'll share. Maybe I'll just share the entire screen here. Does that work? There we go. So I still got the video over there, but I have this chemical. So it's 35 a gallon. It's great. I let it sit for about 15 minutes and it will break down the salt into a micro level to where then I can just easily extract it. It's great for boats because it gets rid of, I haven't done it yet, but spraying it on the exterior of boats, especially if you're in the open seas, my man, you got to get it super good on salt damage. It has a protective coating in there as well. I do for undercarriage cleaning as well. But back to interior detailing is I use this chemical for the interior because some of these vehicles are just throttled and it just wouldn't be good. So there's that. And here's one that I was talking about, like removing the seats. If you are going to a detailer and you have tons of dog hair under the seat, around the seat, you as a customer need to understand and you need to ask questions seriously. It's like, did you remove my seats to get the dog hair out? If you don't get a definite answer, they definitely did not do it. That's 100% realistic. If they're not going to say that they remove the seats, if they're not even going to show you photos, I show my clients photos of when I remove their seats. That way it's a peace of mind for me because I don't have to tell them I did. I can just show them I did. And if a detailer does not want to show you that, I'll give benefit of doubt. One, they were just trying to get the work done quick for you. The downside about it is two, they didn't take photos because they didn't do it. It is what it is. I call a spade a spade. If you're not going to show it, then you didn't do it. Pictures are worth 1,000 words, except it shows proof as well. So picture is 1,000 words in the court of law. But for me, my customers, I love showing videos. I love showing the photos of their cars from start to finish. And because they get happy that I'm so happy to show them the photos and videos. One, they know I'm a trustworthy detailer. Two, they know that I love what I do. Like, that's without a doubt. You don't have to ask me, do I like cleaning cars or I like working on cars? We don't need to talk about it. I love cars. On top of that, finishing the interior, I make sure the cup holders are dry for a specific reason coming after this. I make sure any vinyl, leather, plastic part, after I'm done carpet extracting, if I get those areas wet, I dry them off immediately while I'm working, because it starts to go into the fibers of the leather and the leather, vinyl, and pleather. Start making them really soft because they're over absorbent. They over absorb moisture, and that's a bad thing, because then your protectant can't actually coat them, because there's no space left for them to absorb into. But after I'm done carpet extracting, drying off all the stuff, I then will do glass cleaning. So I clean the glass before the protective coating for the plastics, because once I'm spraying the plastic coating, it will touch the dry glass that's very clingy. So I avoid that by cleaning the windows next. So here's the step process: is talking to the customer, setting real expectations, giving a real pricing, uh, removing the floor mats, spraying the floor door jambs with a APC cleaner, scrubbing the door jambs, vacuuming, and then pressure washing the door jambs clean to remove any of the dirt. That way that APC is sat long enough. And vacuuming usually takes about 5-10 minutes, especially with the blowgun, makes it super easy. And then from that point, after door jambs are washed, I'm able to spray the carpet with carpet solution. Let that sit there. I clean all the plastic, leather, vinyl in the car. Proceed onto the carpet extraction. After carpet extraction, I go on to cleaning the windows. After cleaning the windows, I do my paint gun, plastic, leather, vinyl protecting coating. And I use a paint gun for two reasons. One, I use less of my chemical because it covers in a very wide pattern that I can just wipe clean, and then it's not tacky, no residue, no tackiness, not oversaturated uh, fill. And I use my rag, and then with my rag, getting rid of any extra coating, I then wipe the other parts of the plastic that I didn't get my spray gun to, like the dashboard. I won't spray that down, because then it just goes straight into the glass, and then I'd be back to square one on glass cleaning. Um, so after that's done, I do a final run through with my air gun, spraying all the crevices, getting my head down in there to make sure there's not any like lighters, money, rings, diamond rings, anything. I found so much stuff in places, in crevices, even after vacuuming. My head spins. And then after that's done, it's in the drying process. I put 2 fans in there. I have the heat on high to make sure the air vents are getting dried out and cleaned out, and to push air through a bit faster, to where I usually dry a car within an hour, hour and a half. I'm trying to find fans that have heat also in them, so that way I can keep the heat up, which will dry the car out to evaporate any moisture a lot faster. Um, Once that's done, I take my videos, I take my photos, and then the customer usually arrives right as I'm finishing my photos and videos, and my little talks that I have about the car, how much I like it, stuff like that. So that's the expectation that an auto detailer should set for their client, and that's an expectation I want my clients to set for their detailers, is if your detailer is not going to be running through this with you, they're not for you, like they're against you. My prices are not on the low side, they're not on the high side, they're on my side. It keeps my business running, be honest, but it's also because I buy products that uh, are going to do the job right. I don't buy Simple Green. I buy specifically from auto detail chemical shops. Like I have, uh, I have a gallon of an orange citrus that takes off tar. It's $130 per gallon to get it up here to Alaska. Shipping's $15, but the bottle itself is $110, $115. I have shampoos that are again $75 per. I think it's a 2.5 gallon. It's like $70, 2.5 gallons each. Um, I don't buy cheap stuff. I don't buy the stuff that my customers can get. I buy the stuff that a competitor has to buy with me, and we have to set the principle for that. So my prices, some people are like, that's too much, not doing it. Hey, that's perfectly fine. If it's not for you, it's not for you. And I tell my customers that I buy chemicals that you won't be able to get. Besides this, I tell a lot of my customers this. I have a lot of boat customers, and I said, you need to buy this because you can put it in a foam spray or stuff like that and just spray the whole car down, or in this case, the boat down, and it works really well. The one part I haven't done is I didn't know it does like flush and protect on inboard, outboard motors. So when I start actually doing commercial boats come in the future, I'll be like, hey, I can do this for your car, outboard motor. I can spray it with this. That way it's good for, after you're done for the season. And it's super crazy how this works. I'm very excited to be able to bring this. So hopefully that works with you. Uh, Let me know. Ask me any questions. If you have anything to say about my video, I would love to hear it. If there's anything that you find that I said is ridiculous, I'd love to hear about it. If there's anything that you liked, please leave a comment. Talk to you later. Otherwise, this is Norman, and this is Detailing After Dark. Peace.